Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta. I got all the booze.
All the booze? I have some of it.
Do you have a collection going?
I got my beer and my cocktail chaser. Sure, why not? 'Tis the season.
Too much.
Too much? No, is it too much?
There's
I've
never
been
too
working-
much.
I've been working up until like just a minute ago. Like I literally came down at 8:50. We started at 9. Well, we didn't start at 9. We supposed to start at 9. I came down at 8:50 straight from working. So
Close
my
enough.
notes are simple. But I think this is an easy week to have stuff to talk about. Oh man,
I hate to
Talking about
tell
that.
everyone, but this is going to be the last episode of this podcast because can't support
Why?
this anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
because of what?
Because
Because
of
it was
what?
such a terrible weekend. It was just such a bad
Oh,
weekend.
that thing.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the the bowl game, or you want to talk about Kennesaw State basketball? What do you
we
want to
could talk about the projections and how wrong they were.
So, did you hear the rumor, Ryan, about what actually happened?
Yeah, I want to know.
So-
I didn't. Of course not.
It's
What?
a
I
hot
think I'm plugged
rumor.
in.
So closer and closer we got towards the selection Sunday, or whatever they call it, the announcement. Everything was leaning towards, especially the people that were closer in the know, like the ESPN guys or Brett McMurphy or whatever, was Georgia State versus Ohio in the Myrtle Beach Bowl in Conway, South Carolina.
Perfect sense, right?
Right. And so then it comes out and we're going to Boise against Utah State, not in anybody's discussions.
The Great
So
Potato Bowl or something, right?
Right. So the thing is, they think that somebody told Brett McMurphy, yeah, GSU's playing in the Myrtle Beach Bowl in Conway against Ohio. And he said, oh, GSU, Trash Down South is actually who was playing there, not us.
Oh.
Trash Down South got Ohio in Myrtle Beach and Conway. And I think someone just misunderstood Georgia State with Trash Down South, which is weird because they're different acronyms altogether.
Yeah, TDS seems pretty difficult to get wrong, right?
With the GSU, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, anyhow, Boise on the 23rd. Not an easy place to get into and out of. Not me.
I thought
was
about
gonna-
it twice.
You
Thought
gonna
about
make
it
it, Tim?
twice. No. Watch party, yes.
I looked into every possible scenario, and by every possible, I mean the two of them they had to get to Boise from Atlanta. And there's just no way, as a dad, especially a dad of little kids, that I can be back and be anywhere home near Christmas Eve. It's 4:30. 4:30 on Christmas Eve is the earliest in the afternoon I could get home, which means Atlanta airport 6:00. I'm getting home. Yeah, with little kids.
Not happening.
It was a non-starter. I mean,
You just take the kids with you.
It was a non-starter to the fact that, yes, one, I said, honey, do you want to do Christmas in Boise this year? And I got a look I've never seen before, but it wasn't a happy one.
Well, I mean, that was the only way it was going to happen, though.
Right. And so then my next statement was, I'm not even considering this trip that gets me home at 4:30 on Christmas Eve. That's just a bad idea, right? I'm not even considering it. Not even
Right.
in my
Right?
I'm not, nope, not even thinking about it, right? I'm not thinking about that, right? And
Nope.
she's like, I know.
She's like, why do you keep saying right? Of course you're not.
So
right.
yeah.
Right.
But Tim said no and then went back and looked again. And what's the final verdict, Tim?
Oh, it's no. I mean, you just can't get back at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
Like if there's like
Which
a
is-
red-eye flight from Boise somehow, I would be on it.
Which is absurd because the game's at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. local time is what time of the game is.
Is there like a drivable city somewhere around there that you could fly in or
escape.
out of? I understand we're talking about
Yeah.
Idaho here.
Yeah, Denver. It only takes you 18 hours.
Bozeman.
I don't know. I looked at it. I looked at the driving directions just to see what it was like. It's 30 hours. It's 30 hours. Don't stop. Don't get gas. Don't pee. Don't anything.
Oh, you were going to
30
drive? No way.
Oh,
No.
No.
I was never going to drive. I was just curious what the drive would look like. Yeah, driving to Boise in my Kia minivan that's 5 years old. There's no way we make it.
It'd be the adventure of a lifetime, David.
No, I would be in the middle of like some mountain town and the car would just break down, and then it'd be one of those 80s movies where I've got to like find a way to like do database work there to pay my penance to get out.
Or you just get stuck in snow and freeze to death. One of the two.
That's more likely. Hey, if that what was the show called? The Discovery Show, where they disproved
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that Mythbusters engineer could not survive in the snow, there's no way I'm surviving in the snow. So that'd be a way better.
Yeah, dude, it's 3:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
Is it? It's 3:30 Eastern. Oh,
Yeah.
so it's 1:30. It's 1:30 local. Why did I think it was 11 a.m. local?
I don't know. I just believed you last night when you said it. I was like, damn,
I swear to
that's
God, I thought it was because I thought it was a 1:00 game. I don't know. Okay, so either way, so it's a 1:30 game. Still a pretty early
still
game.
can't get
not
out.
have any flights out of Boise.
Right. Yeah. When you said 11, I thought it was gonna be like our time for some reason. That would have been really early there. I just don't question stuff
No,
like that.
that's why I said 11 local, but I guess I didn't describe whether I was being local or the game was being local.
No, and I just don't ever feel like doing the math, so I just didn't.
We do. I did find a Utah State podcast to talk to, a kind of a podcast.
Awesome.
They haven't put out an episode since last year, but their Twitter account's very active on all Utah State news. And by the way, Ryan, do you know what the Utah State mascot is?
A Ute.
No. I didn't know either. The only way I found out was I found the podcast, and they're called Aggies Up. So I'm like, oh, I assume they're probably the Aggies.
Oh, all right. Are they?
I assume. I didn't.
You get these teams. You get like the Auburn Tigers who are like War Eagle. So like they might just love Aggies, whatever an Aggie is.
Their
That's a
mascot's
cow,
a
right?
big U. I don't know.
Does Ohio State issue with that, or does Miami take issue with that? Miami, I guess Miami.
They should.
Oh, yeah, they're the U.
Yeah.
I don't know
The
how they got
mascot's
that,
name
but-
is Big Blue.
I feel bad because whenever anybody talks about people try to give digs at Georgia State, like you should be the University of Atlanta because you guys are so proud of being in Atlanta. I'm like, oh yeah, but Georgia State, like state name, state university is like one of the best 3 names you could have for a public or for a university, right? And then Utah State comes around. I'm like, Utah State, never heard of them. Do they have a football program? They're Division I, FBS. I had no idea.
Well, apparently they do. Big Blue.
But that's part of just living east of the Mississippi my entire life, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Utah's not really a place. So
I mean, so
like
think about it.
Ohio.
But so that means Utah has 3 FBS programs. They got Utah State, and BYU.
That sounds right.
Wow.
And Georgia didn't have 3 until 10 years ago.
Yeah,
That's insane.
That's ridiculous, right?
it's crazy.
But now
we didn't even know one of them existed. Here,
And
not
now we-
there,
yeah, right, exactly. Now we got like 4.5 or something.
I was just gonna say 4.
Yeah, well, let's say 4 because you figure Trash Down South and KSU just add together as one total.
Oh, I was not counting.
You forgot about
yes,
them?
and I was counting Kennesaw.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like 2 negatives like a positive, right?
Yeah.
When's Mercer gonna move up? Make it
They've
5.
got to be on the list, right? They've got to be on the list.
You would think, based on like all the stuff that goes around. I mean, I don't know. I mean, with the $5 million now, I doubt it.
At that point, it's got to be the conference like
Wants
paying
them.
that money,
Right.
because if a conference is trying to pull somebody up from FCS to FBS right now, it's because the conference needs them, not because the program needs to move up or whatever. It's the conference is in jeopardy because the only conference pulling people up is Conference USA now.
Well, I don't think
And they-
Kennesaw would have moved up, but for like CUSA being like, this has to happen.
Well,
Yeah,
they
I
needed
don't-
it to stay alive, right? I mean, even our conference, you'll see posts. I'm sure you see them, David, where people are like, "Well, who can we pull up?" I'm like, "No one. We don't need to."
No,
No, we're
people
good.
talk like about Missouri State or like Eastern Kentucky and crap, and I'm like, one, there's no reason why the Sun Belt should expand. In fact, the Sun Belt should split in half. But I mean, it should. I
Yeah,
mean,
it could.
they're East and West split so evenly right now. I mean, go split, have the East split off, keep Troy. I don't know if Troy would do that or not. And then you've got a somewhat localized regional system. And if you wanted to bring in an ECU or a UAB or something from the American, it'd be a pretty tight little. I don't like half the members. I was
Tight
reading
little what?
I don't like half the members, but I was reading on a Sunbelt board today. And it's made me realize there are so many message posts and threads on Twitter, message boards, whatever it is, from our conference mates, and they're always talking about the things they accomplished during our FCS days. And sure, it'll sound like I'm being petty that we didn't have any accomplishments during our FCS days.
Sure.
We didn't really have any FCS days. We had like
Right, we
half a year.
didn't. But like being in a conference with so many teams that had an FCS history, and most of them have relatively moved up. Like I'm even considering Appy State and Trash Down South because we relatively moved up. Get over it. No one cares. They're still living in their heyday, and they will never shut up about that. They will never stop talking about all their FCS crap. And I'm like, that's once you moved up, that's a thing of the past. Who cares anymore? No one cares.
I feel like you get that 2-year period to talk about those accomplishments from the FCS, and then it's like tie a knot in it, throw it away.
Some Troy dudes
you would
talk
all
about
be
their
so
Division
proud of it
II
if we had
championships.
Six Flags. We do have Six Flags though. It's right down the street.
No,
It's got rides.
Is that actually in Atlanta?
It's way better than the FCS.
Wait, Six Flags is better than the FCS?
Yes.
Maybe we would be talking about it, but I just don't like being in a conference where that's what everyone talks about is how good they were before they got to this place. Not that I want them to be any better here. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all, but I'm so sick and tired about hearing about lower caliber football in comparison to what we're doing right now.
Well, I mean, like, it just depends on how it gets brought up. You know, if people are like rubbing it in your face that they did it, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. They're just like, oh, we're better than you because we got
up. No, just won't shut up.
If you just say like, I remember when we did this, that's fine. But if you're like, we're a national champ, we have 6 national championships. I'm like, in the FBS? No, you don't.
Yeah,
or like, and what did you do? It's like, well, that's not. Hey, like that.
Well, you know,
we didn't do anything because we weren't even in FCS technically. Like we were never full members.
The Evening School of Commerce was part of Georgia Tech back when they won their last national championship.
So we can claim it, right?
So Georgia State is a national champion as well.
We actually have a proper national championship.
Exactly, in the big boy football.
Yeah.
So
well, there wasn't little boy football then. So
yeah, well, there was always Trash Down South.
They've always existed.
What do you guys think of this bowl game? Have you looked at? We're gonna talk to the Aggies up people. Probably I guess the week before the game is what we talked about. It didn't make any sense to talk about it now because how many coaches and players are gonna leave the team? The two teams between the next 2 weeks.
That should be a good stat to track.
That's a great segue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, kind of. If I actually moved into that topic, but yeah. So what do you guys think about like? Crap bowl, good bowl, crap team, good team. What do you think?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a notable, like the bowl itself. I remember seeing it before years past. So I don't know. It's kind of notoriety a little bit.
They're gonna have a bucket of French fries for the winning team to dump all over themselves.
Oh, no, I'm in now. Let's go. You're waiting. Am I going to be part of that? Can I just go enjoy that?
Is there going to be a kiddie tub to catch all the French fries? Because I want to eat all those French fries.
If we do a watch party at Manny's, can I do that myself? Just order like a bucket of fries and just like throw them in the air
for yourself.
Yeah, as long as you pick each one of them up, Ryan.
No. I'll just tip really well.
You better tip really well, like a cleaning crew tip.
I'll just ditch my tab and never come back.
They'll remember you. Like, there's only so many Georgia State people out there. Like, oh nope, like that guy's wearing a Georgia State hat. We see him on the side of the street. That's obviously the guy that dumped fries all over our floor.
What I'm counting on though is that you guys will be so embarrassed you'll just do it for me.
Oh no, we're gonna do it. No, we'd make you do it.
Oh, I'm gone already. It's fine. I'm not gonna really do that. It's like a Gatorade bath, but it's a French fry bath.
So pretty sure our most excited part of the bowl is the French fries.
French fries, and we get to play on a blue field. We haven't seen blue all season long, so they're just going to shove it down our throats. Are we going to wear blue or are we going to wear black? I think we should wear blue so we get hidden into the field.
That's right. They won't know where we are, but then we won't also know where our players are either. So
there won't be any players on the field, Ryan. They're all gone to the portal. Now that's
yeah. So that's the deal. I will go if they need someone to suit up. That's the way I'll make it out there.
We were talking about that.
If I can fly on the plane with them out there and suit up, and I hope to sit on the bench, but it's not looking good.
The number of years I went to school at Georgia State, I have definitely exhausted any potential eligibility.
I don't think that's how it works, but if it is, then I definitely have as well.
And I'm pretty sure my physicalness disqualified me prior to ever attending college. So, yeah, I'm in. I'm ready. I'm ready to suit up. If we need a warm body a warm body in Boise in December. Yeah, no.
You know you can't drink either, right?
I can drink. I'm really good at it.
No, but you can't drink and play NCAA football.
They won't let you do it.
I drink and played adult recreation league kickball, and
no, you'll be disqualified, man. It's a performance enhancing drug.
Did you miss that part where I'd be disqualified just for my physical abilities?
Nah, they don't care about that.
I wouldn't pass physical. Like they would say turn your head and cough, and before I could get out of they'd be like, no, you're out. You
failed the test, sir. Please exit.
Thanks for the feel, but yeah, you're done.
Also, go see a doctor.
yeah, that too. So you excited? Utah State? Either of you? No,
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm not kidding. This is not a dig at Utah State, Aggies, or whatever they are. I don't know anything about West Coast football. If you told me they were an FBS program, I would have believed you. If you told me they were FCS, I would have believed you. If you told me Utah was the only state that didn't have a state university, I would have believed you as that as well. I had no idea. I've never heard of them before. None that I recall.
I've only been to Utah one time, so.
That is 1,000% more than me. That is an infinity percent more than me.
Yeah, that's more like it.
They're stingy on the booze though. They have all the little topper things and all the bottles. You can only pour half an ounce. Like you're not allowed to pour anything straight from a bottle anywhere there. My friend of mine who has worked in the restaurant industry at airports for the better part of 2 decades, opened up a bunch of restaurants in the Utah airport. They did like a renovation or something, and they reopened a bunch of stuff. And she was out there, and she just bitched like they couldn't even get drunk pouring themselves shots. Like it came out like so little at a time. So
I think they must sell food too. Like a substantial portion of their menu must be food. They can't just be like a bar.
My favorite brewery menu I ever saw was in some state where they so the menu had like all the different beer they had, and then at the bottom of it, it was a $100 hot dog, and they said the description of hot dogs, there is nothing special about this hot dog. The state requires us to sell food if we sell alcohol. This hot dog is cold. It will come out of the refrigerator in a bun that was probably bought this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say that reminds me of the.
If you want to buy it for $100, you can buy this cold hot dog.
Back in the day when they had to have food sales, I remember that.
Is it just so that they could have like just a pack of hot dogs in the fridge and just be like, all right,
we have a food option. We have a food option. We're not going to sell any of them except for like that drunk Larry at like 2 a.m. every single Thursday night. It's gonna be like, hey, I want one of them cold hot dogs. Get me a hot dog. And
that's what I liked. All the pubs in Ireland had like loaves of bread and like a little toaster oven and like some like sandwich fixins like just back there. There's no menu, but it would just be like if you need like a quick sandwich because like you've just been drinking all day, like they'll feed you.
We'll make you a sandwich.
There was a bar in Atlanta like that by the Georgia Dome. I went to this bar and it was a tiny ass little bar in the middle of nowhere, or middle next to Georgia Dome, and they just served beer. They even had like a keg on the back wall and a kegerator with a chalkboard and plastic cups, and you just put your name down there and you marked every time you filled up a cup, and then you'd go and you'd tell the guy how many beer you had. But what I'm talking about is I asked if they had a food menu, and he's like, "No, I'll make you a sandwich if you want one." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, do you have a menu? What kind of sandwiches you offer?" He's like, "No, I just go to Publix every morning and I buy a loaf of bread and some deli slices.
Like ham and turkey, and
He's
yeah.
like I'll make you a ham and cheese, and I'm like,
Okay.
that sounds fantastic. Yeah. So and I looked over, and he's like pulling out like your bag of Wonder Bread, and had like his like the Kroger brand version of like the deli sliced ham and everything, and just slapped on some mustard and some mayo and made a ham and cheese sandwich. I was like, and then I found out later on that his apartment was above, so he worked downstairs.
Elliott Street.
Elliott Street. That was
yeah. Elliott Street.
Yeah.
They eventually had food at some point though, and then they closed.
This was probably 15 years ago when I went there.
Wow.
So
I feel like that building's historical. They need to save that now that Cam Newton owns it, I think.
Oh God.
I know. It's true.
I guess the good thing about that is he left here and he got money from other places, and now he's bringing his other places money back to Georgia
here.
and spending it.
Yeah.
Ryan, is that how politics and economics work?
I don't know. It's not how politics work. Nothing you said was political at all, but that's probably how economics works.
As the political subject matter expert, is that how economics works?
Well, again, two totally different subjects. Unfortunately, all the politicians think they know all the economics, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I'll take it.
And all the economists think they're politicians? Is that what
no, thank goodness.
Fantastic. We're really off on tangents. We're off tangents.
We're talking about Elliott Street Pub. That's classic.
This is more like a last call, like just going on random tangents of stuff.
We segued into one of our other topics, I think twice now, and skipped it anyway.
Transfers?
The free college football free agency?
Yeah. All right, we know how David feels about this.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I mean, Brian, I think I'm somewhere in between you and Tim.
Dang.
Yeah, sounds like a good night.
Whoa.
So while I agree with you, Ryan, that a child, a kid, a student should be able to transfer schools, transfer sports, however, there shouldn't even be eligibility. You should be able to play college sports as long as your body physically allows you and you attend classes at the school. I'm fine with that, whatever. But then, like, I think Tim, on your side of it, it's like, man, it sure was great when you would have a kid come out and be that starting freshman that just balls out, and you become a huge fan and you watch him for the next 3 or 4 years. Like that, the tradition and the history of college sports.
Sure.
Plus what actually makes sense in a real world where you can do what you want to do. I kind of float in the middle of the whole thing. So
what do you want? What's in the middle?
I want Georgia State to create an environment where once students get here, they don't want to leave.
So you want the old school environment just for us?
No, well, I mean, I want to have a staff. I would have a very large staff.
Don't we all?
I would.
You're in the
I
middle.
want.
Oh, I'm not. No, he's in the middle. Yeah.
No, he said he's in the middle. We just don't know which way he's facing.
Someone's either very lucky or very unhappy. I want to see our athletic staff. Man,
I know. Now you can't say it.
I would like to see our athletic department. I want to see our athletic department. I want to see our athletic department create and our university create an environment where athletes they want to play for Georgia State. They want to stay with Georgia State. The fan base is there. They're into it. But we're getting zero effort from every direction, except for the fans. What little fans we do have put in more effort than a lot of others. So,
yeah, one of the things we talked about on the way up to the Kennesaw basketball game was incentivizing staying. So like you don't penalize leaving, you incentivize staying. So you say like, okay, all right, you get like 5 years of eligibility or whatever, and maybe you get like an extra year of eligibility if you stick around for 4 years or if you do something like that. So you give more perks to somebody who sticks around, which I'm more akin to that. Although David, I hadn't thought about it too much until you just literally said it. And yeah, you're right. Eligibility just shouldn't even be a thing.
Anyone that comes to the school can be on the team.
I'm more libertarian than the Lieutenant Governor of Georgia.
No, I just hadn't thought about it yet. Once you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. We all learn all the time, David.
If you take one class, are you eligible then?
I don't care. If Georgia State says you don't even have to take classes, then you shouldn't have to. But
just come play football for us.
I mean, it's dumb that it's tied to schools. So like we can go off on that tangent if you guys want. But like,
hey, Ryan, we are staring off season in the.
We can do a whole episode about how
sports
being tied to public universities is like such a stupid thing, and how did it even happen? We can do the history of and all that.
Okay.
What would you?
Yeah. So when I ask you for things to talk about in May, bring that up,
dude. If I texted that earlier today, you'd have been like, "GFY." If I text you that in May, I don't think it would have changed.
I mean, please think, Ryan. Are you feeling okay? Are you actually going to be there? Are you going to talk about something?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I'm here talking about stuff.
Something about staffs and okay.
Are you okay, David? I feel like
maybe not.
I feel like I'm faking it okay. I've been sick all day, and I feel like I'm faking it really well.
So I will say that even though I did just come up from work, maybe it's why I was working until 8:50. But I've been drinking since like 4:30.
So that work from 4:30 to 7. Who knows?
That was all waiting around for other people to tell me what I got wrong originally.
So do we have our transfers that are leaving? Since we're talking about transfers,
you said you wanted to make transfer portal part of the conversation. Robert Lewis,
Mark Carroll,
Lewis to Auburn is what it's looking like.
Cincy, right? He's been offered by Auburn, it sounds like, or they're sniffing around. I don't know if it was an official. Oh, no, it was an offer.
Yeah.
I'd be dying to know what these conversations. What do they like sliding in their DMs? Like, hey, we have like $80,000 if you want to consider coming.
Well,
the
portal has all the rules like attached to it. That's like the portal's not like. That's what it is. It's the mechanism in which all these schools are able to talk to them. So they've set up all these rules for like how you have to do it and all that stuff. Who knows, how much they follow those rules, but that's.
Yeah, but then you also have like the recruiting coordinator, coach, whatever, saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, I want to let you talk to Ryan Graham over here," and he's like, "Yeah, I will make sure that my company pays you $50,000 every month." It's like
to come to the university.
It was Graham
like that out there.
GrahamFansOnly.com.
Nice. Who told you about all that? What the heck, man? This is my $1 million idea.
Who do you think set it up, man? Who do you think set it up?
So I did like last year I went out and I was looking for some kind of database.
Doesn't exist.
It didn't exist.
Yeah.
But there were better places this year. Sorry, I really was sick all day, so I'm trying not to cough, but I'm failing. Hold on.
I forgot what we were talking about, so it works out well for me.
Oh, so I was Googling around to find like a database of transfers, and there was a couple of them that were really poorly done. But there was one that I found that had like 8 of ours, I think. And, I don't know how many there are, but there were 8 there. So I started clicking on the other Sunbelt teams, and a lot of them only have like 2 or 3, but Coastal also had like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
There was one other team that had a bunch too, but I forget which one. Monroe had like 9 or 10.
We offer one of Monroe's linemen. I think it was a lineman. I don't know. Offensive.
See, that makes sense to me. That seems like an upgrade from Monroe. Like I get why you would leave Monroe and come here.
Yeah, because we were bitching about a couple of guys. We're looking at going from Georgia State to Charlotte, and we're like, that is the most lateral of moves if you're on board with the Nashville. What was it called? The Music City Miracle.
Well, so that's what I think. Like a lot. Like I think we would consider that a downgrade, right? We would look at that and be like, why would you do that? It's a downgrade. But I think if you don't have like blue tinted glasses and you look at it and you don't know much about the programs, but you do know like something about Charlotte and something about Atlanta, you'd be like, it's the same school. What are you doing? Like, why would you do that?
It's do you want to live in Atlanta or do you want to live in Charlotte? And
right.
And you can argue about what's better, Atlanta or Charlotte, all day long. It's not going to be that big of a difference, honestly. And once you've already spent a year or two at college in Atlanta or spent a year or two in Charlotte, how much of a big of a difference does it make to switch?
Yeah, but
your last
playing
year?
In the American.
Against who?
I don't know.
All the teams we don't play against.
UAB.
UAB, yeah. UAB. God damn. Hey, we got him. We got him for 4 years in a row. Hey, any recruit that wants to play UAB, sign up now. We play him like 4 years in a row, starting in like 2026 or something.
So not now.
So sophomores, juniors, sophomores or juniors.
All those high school kids that listen to this podcast,
You'd be surprised.
I would be.
Almost all of our Twitter followers are all high school kids.
Oh, I know. I would not be surprised
No
about
way.
that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I bet when they hit your DMs, they're like, "Hey, coach."
No.
I got that so much, and
I
I'm like,
can't
in
recruit
what
you.
world does it say anything about coach in any of my profile? Anything like
We'll review your tape and say nothing back.
I'm sorry, kid, you're too stupid to come to Georgia State if you think I'm a coach.
I was trying to think of a joke about how, like, in this day and age, you got to pay me to watch your tape because you can get these kids to start paying you money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can understand.
Not NIL, not in your lifetime.
I can understand the exodus from ULM with them getting rid of Bowden, right?
I bet that had to have been like a recruiting thing to like actually. How many kids nowadays actually know what the Bowden name is?
That's true.
When did what's his old man Bowden retire or be forced out?
Yeah. How long ago was that?
It's been a minute, right? So
0809 somewhere.
So there's not a single high school recruit right now that remembers watching Bobby Bowden, Florida State football, right?
Those were amazing years they had, winning so much.
That was a weird. That was kind of my introduction of like college football, like Bobby Bowden, Steve Spurrier, the Donnan to Rick transfer, Saban coming in, George O'Leary lying on his resume to Notre Dame. Those are my like introductory years to
going to UCF, right?
Well, not me going to UCF.
No, like O'Leary.
Oh yeah.
Oh
no, he started UCF or did he start USF? Was it UCF or USF?
That was UCF.
Yeah, was it UCF? Yeah, but he was like their starter, right?
He did well there. Yeah.
What are we talking about, guys?
Transfer portal.
I don't know. I left for 5 minutes. I came back and I had no idea what you guys were talking about.
Jimmy Madison has lots of transfers. Coastal has a lot of why is everyone transferring at Coastal?
Yeah, that's what I noticed. There was a lot there too. Yeah,
because they're becoming a dump. Is that what it is? They're going back to dump status.
No, Ryan. What's your name? Tim. They were always a dump.
Oh, okay.
Because they got told that it was at the beach, and then they showed up and it was like 30 minutes away, and they're like, "Man, F this."
There's like a swamp. Is that the beach? Yep, that's the beach.
They flew to Myrtle Beach, and they're like, "All right, cool. Let me get my Uber to campus." And they said, "Oh, the Uber to Conway is $87." And they're like, "Bait and switch. This is not what I wanted to come to."
No, they drugged and blindfolded them when they landed and said, "Oh, you're in Myrtle Beach now."
Like that's why all the sand is teal.
Yeah. Don't worry about where the actual beach is, all right? We're not doing that to this right now, all right?
You may be inside of a Top Golf. You may not actually be at the beach at all.
They actually have a replica stadium near the beach in Myrtle Beach, like over on a hill or something, and they're just like, "Oh, there's our stadium."
I went to Myrtle Beach over spring break. Spring break,
woo!
And I ended up at their little weird thing, and I came across the Coastal athletic store they have like on their little weird Myrtle Beach boardwalk. Yes, yeah. And my wife's like, "Do you want to go in?" I'm like, "I want to go in there." And he's like, "I'm going in." And so I walked by. They have like a huge like Chanticleer logo on there. I wouldn't even step on it. I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Just take a dump on it.
That's what I wanted to do. They didn't have bathrooms. Because I can't
to go. Sorry.
Shouldn't have stopped you, David.
No, it really shouldn't.
Solidarity.
You should know about taking.
It was also my wedding anniversary. I had to be in my better behavior. So
no, not for them. You're not married to them.
Yeah, but I'm married to my wife, and when I go to jail that day, she'd be like, "Why did you ruin our anniversary by going to jail over a bunch of goddamn teal chickens?"
I'm
No
really
way. She
concerned
knew
why
what she was
you.
getting when she married you, and if she's
Yes.
not accepting of your behavior, then maybe you married the wrong woman.
Ooh,
Says the man that wants me to be single with him.
I'm
I'm not
still
single.
I'm still concerned you went into that store.
I didn't wanna. Don't judge me.
But
You mean you didn't wanna?
what's in there that any
I
of
think I
either of you
wanted to
would want?
see. I wanted to see if they had any like Sunbelt stuff that there may have been like banners that actually had a Georgia State like pennant in it or something.
Okay. No, probably not.
No, I saw. I exited within 30 seconds.
Did your eyes go blind instantly as you walked in? All you saw was teal everywhere.
No, it was a beach. It was a beach little store, so they had like a lot of like bamboo looking crap because I think they're in Hawaii,
Mm.
but they're not.
Is bamboo only in Hawaii?
I have no idea. I think it's in China. I
I'm
think
pretty
a
sure it's
China
all
thing.
over Atlanta.
It's in my backyard, actually.
People are like, "Oh, this is a great idea. Let's grow some bamboo," and then bamboo
No, it wasn't me.
permanently
No,
exists.
It was the previous owners, or just like poison or COVID or something brought it. I don't know what it. Just there's just bamboo everywhere. I didn't do it.
Yep. What are you, Hawaii or something? You think you're Hawaii?
Why is it Hawaii?
You said it. That's what you did.
I don't know why I said Hawaii. I watched
Oh.
Rush Hour. I know that Jackie Chan is very proud of their bamboo that they use as scaffolding, and we don't use it because we use steel because we're America.
Wow. We've lost the plot of this.
Where
podcast.
are we?
I have no idea.
Ooh, you should go plant some bamboo in the creek. That's what you should do.
Anyway, so all that to
and
say, I think that other Sunbelt schools are feeling the pressure of the transfer portal as well. We are definitely in the bottom half of schools as far as like the top half as far as like number of transfer portal people. The number's still going up too. So who knows?
What do we get if
Who
we
knows
win?
what happens?
Do we get something if we win?
A new team.
I mean, that might not be bad. I don't know.
Well, so that's one thing I was wondering is like, so I don't know the rules around like how many students you can sign off the transfer portal. Like if it's still the 25 per year total signings or what?
You can sign. I mean, Deion ran off his entire team basically.
I think they abandoned all that stuff, or I could be wrong.
No rules, unlimited money, go.
It's certainly, which is kind of what it should be.
Yeah,
but we got to find that balance. You got to find that spot where people actually, realize the advantages, because there's going to be advantages to take that step up to a bigger program. There's going to be that advantages as a better player to drop down to a perceived lower program and ball out and get their name on TV every single day,
and then get pulled right back up.
Well, and I think we have the system in place for like a decade, and people have experience dealing with it. You have coaches out there who have experience dealing with it, have seen, kids come from here and went there, and what's happened to like most of the guys who go, like they're not all going to be Thrashes, you know what I mean? But Thrashes, of course, like the positive, this could work for you, but it's not going to work for everybody. And I think that it settles down a little bit. It calms down a little bit. I think a lot of these kids are just like really excited about a new thing that they can go do,
Right. Well, also, look at it. The NFL draft, kids get drafted out of Division II. They get drafted out of not playing football like academically at all. So, don't feel like you've got to be at Alabama or Georgia, not a Florida State, because they don't get considered for anything. But
hey,
with these schools to get
Georgia's playing
considered. Are they?
Yikes!
I wouldn't get too excited about that. But you can get drafted out of perceived smaller programs. So don't act like you got to move up to another program to get seen. Maybe being the big fish in a small pond is a good way to be looked at.
But it doesn't net you 100K. I don't know.
Well, we'll see, because if you go to the NFL, the answer to that is yes.
You will get more than 100K.
If you're more likely to go, you know what I mean? Like it's all a gamble, right? You're trying to figure out what the best way for you to go make that money is.
Speaking of that that big signing bonus, or like getting that check at NFL. You watch Hard Knocks. When they were at Jacksonville like several years ago, they made all the rookies get up there and like do a little presentation, and they had to say their signing bonus. And there's these undrafted guys, and like their signing bonus was like $1,000, like $1,000, and like 17 grand a year or something like that.
Oh no!
Wow.
But everybody else is obviously the top recruits are like, oh yeah, I had 10 million guaranteed. I'm like, yeah, I got $1,000.
You're like, can I get like 100K of that?
Can I drive you to work every day?
Right.
I'll be your Uber.
Some of them might go for that, have a personal Uber driver.
Yeah, just be like the undrafted guy that comes on the team. You're like, yes, I know that you were the Heisman winning national champion quarterback, rookie recruit guy, whatever. I will drive you everywhere. I will be your guy the entire time. Just keep me on the team. Just keep me on the team.
Put me on your payroll.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Are there actual rules about the number of times you can transfer? Yes or no?
I think so.
Gone? Because like
there's no rule on the number of times you can transfer.
No, but you can only transfer one time without sitting out. But there's the exception of the grad transfers.
I don't know.
So if you graduate and you can transfer somewhere else and it doesn't count against you. I saw there was somebody announced that they were there's a quarterback at Georgia who's transferring, who just announced today, who graduated. And in the article, it mentioned that he has 2 years of eligibility left, and he could still transfer without sitting out a year after he transfers this year.
But he's a grad transfer.
But he's a grad transfer right now, so he would save his free transfer for next year if he wanted to transfer from wherever he transfers to now, and he would get both those transfers for free without sitting out,
right?
Because it's a grad transfer.
Yeah. So Tim, I think the answer to the question is basically remove the way it was with the FCS, like where if you dropped down, it was cool, but if you moved up, it was not. It's just like dropping down. It's all good.
Grad transfer was always free.
So
and then grad transfer was always free.
Always free. Yeah.
The one player I looked up was this Jordan McLeod from JMU, because he started at South Florida, 18 to 20, went to Arizona, 21 and 22. I guess because he transferred to James Madison, they technically
we're still the fucking
transitional. He was there at 3 schools.
I was gonna say.
I think you can transfer to FCS for free too. So
did that count as like an FCS transfer because they're transitional?
He was at James Madison this year.
Yeah, and he's transferring again.
I don't know all the rules around
So
that. There's too many
schools.
hazy. I bet the NCAA doesn't even know what their rules are on that.
Yeah, they're like transitional school counts, doesn't count. I don't know. I was just like, he's been at 3 schools. He's gonna go for a 4th.
My wife came down. I was checked out. So you guys talking about the coastal quarterback guy?
No, Jordan McLeod from JMU or Jimmy Madison.
Yeah, but the coastal quarterback guy, he's like going to like ninth school or no, ninth to the school or something.
4th.
Mason McCall, he's been at Coastal this whole time, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's like 9th year in college. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
We're talking about number of transfers, and we were talking about a Jimmy Madison guy. David? What?
Yeah. Purple's ugly.
It's not.
Are you sure the only thing you've been doing is drinking? I don't know.
No.
Oh my God, guys! I might still be hungover after that Kennesaw game. I didn't get home until like 4 a.m.
What?
Well, I
did the party keep going?
When did you leave? I don't remember you leaving, David.
So I took Tim and I took Ryan and Ryan and another buddy of ours up to the game. We come back and we go to our buddy's friend's house. And I totally dick out. And I'm like, Ryan, I'm just gonna leave and you have to find your own way home. And he's like, oh, okay. And then I realized later on, I was like, I should have said, hey man, is it okay if I just go straight home and you Uber home for like the $6 it is to get here? But
no, I didn't take that as like you ditching me or nothing. And we ended up having a great time. They took me to dinner and then we went like partying.
So I just left Ryan at our buddies and all his new best friends.
I
I've
had
got no idea.
one friend there, man, and I just ended up having a good old time.
Nice.
But let's get to the game thing. The game was an absolute embarrassment.
Oh yeah,
Absolute embarrassment
on multiple fronts.
We didn't look very good.
What other fronts you talking about, Ryan? Like
the atmosphere at the Kennesaw State, whatever,
great, right?
not stadium, whatever you call it,
Convocation Center. They
it
call
was
it
so nice.
Sporting
it was
venue.
Super nice.
No. Ours is better, Ryan. Ours is better.
We walk in and we're just like, oh my god, because it was loud and everyone was like into it, and like I don't know, the atmosphere was amazing. And yeah, at some point I found somebody from athletics and I was like, man, this atmosphere is really great. And that person decided to say, yeah, but our whatever is better. Our convocation center is a lot nicer. What?
The box.
Yeah, well, he didn't say that, but I mean, they didn't say that. He didn't say that.
There was more than one of them.
he was like, well, it's I think ours is a lot nicer, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching on that, but like, it just to me was like such a disconnect where I was just like, if you can't look around here and like automatically know that I was not talking about like what facility is nicer. Yep. Obviously our facility is nicer. Oh, like 100%, duh. Like it's so much nicer. It's brand new too. So there's that. But the atmosphere, like everyone was into it. There was like, I mean, it was popping. It was a
Coach Hunter coach team in the sports arena on a Thursday night, like on a random, like just Tuesday night. But Coach Hunter would brought in a team that got a ruckus out of the crowd, and that's what it was. It was great, man. We were losing from the moment we walked into the stadium, and the entire time, all I could do is like, these guys are these fans, these kids, these students, and everything. They're having the time of their lives. This is exactly the same thing. I had a great
time. Even though we lost, I had a fantastic time.
But like they were having the same moment that we had under the Coach Hunter years. That's what they were having. They were just jumping and bopping and like had their
I thought it was
chance.
Better.
Their PA announcer was living it up. They had a great environment.
So we're their
fantastic. Yes, that's right. We were their Super Bowl. Absolutely. No, I think that's just what they're building over there. They did say, I think it was their first sellout of the season.
Nice.
Of the
and you know what though? On Monday, I got an email from them saying, thank you so much for being part of our first sellout. We are selling tickets we're going to give you an offer. I mean, it was really terribly formatted and stuff, but I was like, man, this marketing is actually on point too, because I'm a new person and they knew that I was a new ticket buyer. They
what I did,
I
scrolled all the way to the bottom, and there was no unsubscribe link, and I replied and said, "Hey, I went to your game because I'm a Georgia State fan. I don't want to be in your mailing list. Take me off."
You should have marked it as spam.
Yeah, they get put on the list
after.
But what I'm saying is kudos to them for doing that, though.
Absolutely.
They've got a lot of the pieces in place.
No, Ryan, our convocation center is better.
I know.
Ours is better, so that
we're done, right? We built it. We built it.
They will come.
It's pretty.
We're done.
Yep.
I was pretty pissed. I talked about it for a long time.
Did you talk about that? Did you talk about that night? Wait, did you talk about that night after David left?
No, I didn't worry about Georgia State at all for the rest of that night. I ended up. Well, we won't talk about that here.
All right. After
so we lose for the first time in school history to Kennesaw State. We went. Tim and I went
in magnificent manner too. I mean, they killed us. They destroyed us.
It was never close.
Like we would try to make a little run, and they would just be like, not happening," and they would go right back up.
It was the same thing. It was the same thing we saw earlier in that little MT we had against Northern Illinois or whoever it was, where like we'd take the ball up and they just knock it out of our hand. Like every time we were going up for a shot, they just knocked it out of our hand.
They just like grab it, and just be like, "All right, it's mine now."
So that's not poor talent. That's poor coaching. If it's happening to all the players all the time, then you got to blame the coaching for that, right?
I don't know enough about basketball to make a comment.
I don't know enough about anything, but here we are looking at it right now, doing it.
Poor ball handling. It's not really coach. It's the players.
No, but I've never seen it before.
We didn't look. I can tell you this: we didn't look motivated to be there. Like the team in general.
All.
No, and they were hyped. They were like excited.
Well, you got to figure
their Super Bowl.
You got to figure that the flight delays out of Hartsfield, the time change and everything. It probably a little jet lag.
Took us 6 hours to get there, right?
Exactly, because we drove.
Wait, where'd you pregame at?
Marlowe's Tavern, and I always forget when I go to Marlowe's that they actually think they're a fancy restaurant, and I'm like, no, you're just another bar for people to go drink at.
No, they were out of French dips though, so they can't call themselves fancy.
Dude, Arby's has French dip. How
well,
fancy
they're not
is
good. Don't get a French dip at Arby's. What are you talking about? I would rather have a cheddar whatever than a French dip at Marlowe's.
A cheddar and whatever. How about a
bacon cheddar?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of beef it is, but it's cheddar and beef. But I don't know what it is.
There's that rumor that they poured out of a jug.
That's fine. It's good.
I mean, just like
pour it right into my mouth
before it's cooked.
Whatever, man. Just cheddar and like meat ooze. Just pour it in there.
Meat ooze.
Yeah. Phrasing.
If we've ever needed to edit an episode, this is the one to edit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 3 hours before we get to the last call.
Oh, wait, so David, there was another game this week, right?
Middle Georgia State, and we played an absolute garbage game in the first half.
First half, yeah.
We looked like the only thing we knew how to do was shoot threes. That's it.
No. We look like we knew how to shoot threes, not score. Attempt them.
Yeah.
That game was. Oh, so but then the Sex Panther showed up. The Sex Panther. We were talking about it when you got there. Like, where are the Sex Panther kids?
Missing.
And it shows up at halftime, and the game turned around. So we were looking up for the stats because the least we had beaten them by was something like 50 something points.
Yes.
29. 19, it was 29 points,
right?
Was the least, 19.
19, yeah.
19 was the, I went from 53 to 19.
I was like,
19 was the least points, and we were barely able to hold a 3-point lead. And then as soon as the Sex Panther came out, the 19 points happened, and it was game over.
We were losing, remember, at one point, very briefly. It's like, what in the
I posted.
Yeah.
I was posted. We were losing to Middle Georgia State. I don't even know if they have divisions down there.
Look, I've been saying it for a year. We're a second half team. All right.
No, there's no divisions in Middle Georgia State. There's just one team. It's just it's one. There's no, you can't slice it anyway. It's just the team. That's all it is. Divisions. Okay. Man, I tried. It was really bad.
It wasn't good. I don't know what I still don't understand what you said.
Divisions, middle.
Divisions. It's just one. It's not multiples.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
All right. Mercer this weekend. Mercer is apparently even worse than we are.
Are we playing them here?
Away.
No, we're at Mercer. We're in Macon.
Oh, right, because that was going to be your birthday thing.
We're going to see who gets thrown out of Mercer's arena in this edition.
A cheerleader and a coach?
Maybe.
Whatever. She should be in our our Hall of Fame.
Ooh, we should have had her on the podcast to talk about that.
All right, Tim, you're in charge. I agree. We should get her on the podcast. So cheerleader, they got kicked out of Mercer.
What did you actually say to the ref?
Exactly. Can we do a dramatization or reenactment?
Yeah. She's like, that's only okay for last call.
Ooh.
You listen to the podcast. That's great.
Of course she does.
She'll tell you on OnlyGram.
OnlyGram. That's what it is. That's the joke I was missing. It's an OnlyGram. We need to set up our OnlyGram. Ryan, that's your new campaign thing. OnlyGram.
I don't know. OnlyFans, OnlyGrams. Yeah,
man, you would win at a landslide.
Yeah,
I may actually donate money, not just buy a sign that's way overpriced.
We did have a candidate in Florida with an OnlyFans.
We have an OnlyFans.
We do not.
We haven't posted. We haven't posted content yet.
It's just pictures of my feet.
You gotta diversify, man. Get my feet.
Yeah,
get some more feet up in there.
Yeah. By the way, I'm buying a new house next week. Unrelated news.
It's more than your
people
feet.
are into some stuff.
Corny feet.
Cool.
That's all I got.
So we get everything. That's the agenda, I think. Right?
Yeah.
We're good.
I have no idea.
We only went an hour.
We're pressing an hour. I don't know when we actually started talking about Georgia State.
That's all right. People pay to people pay. Some people do to hear us talk like we're talking at a bar. All right.
And we are
definitely a bar conversation tonight.
All right. Last call.
Yeah. Last call sounds good.
That sounds fantastic. All right. Thanks for everybody for listening. We're going to move to last call where this is going to continue going on. You can find it on our Patreon page, patreon.com/DaveAtlanta. It is free of charge. But if you do subscribe, you get it a little bit early in your inbox. Please consider subscribing. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.